She was never meant to wear the web. It was forced onto her skin, burned into her blood, and stitched into her fate. While other heroes chose power, Julia Carpenter was given it, and spent her life asking one question. What does it cost to be a hero when you never asked to be one? In the shadow of Spider-Man, beyond the headlines and the bright red mask, exists a story far more tragic, far more human. This is not a tale of quips and city swings. This is the story of a woman dragged into heroism by lies, reshaped by destiny, and ultimately transformed into something mythic. This is the rise, fall, and rebirth of Arachne, Julia Carpenter, one of Marvel's most overlooked yet essential figures in the Spider legacy. Julia Carpenter is not born special. She is not bitten by fate. She is chosen without consent. A single mother struggling to survive, Julia is approached by a shadowy government operation promising power, stability, and purpose. They speak in half-truths. They offer protection. They never mention the pain. In a cold laboratory, her body is injected with a stolen formula, a twisted echo of the experiment that created Spider-Man. It burns. Her nerves scream. Her muscles seize as something ancient and predatory awakens inside her. She survives barely. When she wakes, her senses are sharper. Gravity feels optional. Fear becomes instinct. And etched across her costume is a symbol that is not friendly, not playful, but aggressive, a black and white spider that looks more like a warning than a promise. Julia doesn't feel like a hero. She feels used. The government doesn't want to protect her. They want a weapon. And as Julia learns to climb walls and strike with unnatural strength, she realizes something terrifying. The spider didn't just give her power, it changed how she sees the world. Every sound is louder, every danger closer, every responsibility heavier. From the very beginning, Arachne is born not from hope, but from exploitation. Julia's evolution is not about becoming stronger. It's about becoming free. At first, she fights because she's ordered to. Missions, targets, clean up operations in dark alleys where no one thanks you. But the more she acts, the more she begins to question the voices guiding her. She watches innocent people suffer, while powerful men hide behind badges and secrets. And slowly, something inside her snaps. Julia walks away. But power doesn't let go so easily. As Arachne, she joins other heroes not because she trusts them, but because she's searching for meaning. She stands among legends yet never feels like one. Where others joke, she hesitates. Where others charge forward, she calculates the cost. Then fate takes something from her. A brutal injury robs Julia of her powers. The webs fall silent. The strength fades. And for the first time since the experiment, Julia is just human again. But instead of relief, there is emptiness. Because losing the spider doesn't give her peace, it leaves her questioning who she is without it. Years later, destiny returns, cruel and inevitable. Julia is chosen as the new Madame Web, inheriting a cosmic burden far heavier than spider powers. She becomes a guardian of the web of life and destiny itself. No longer just a hero. No longer fully human. Julia Carpenter transforms from a weapon into a watcher of fate. And that transformation costs her everything. In Secret Wars, Julia stands among gods and monsters on an alien battlefield. While others fight for glory, she fights to survive. The chaos strips away illusions. Heroes fall, alliances fracture, and Julia realizes how small individual will feels against cosmic forces. During her time with the West Coast Avengers, she faces a different war, one of trust. Surrounded by heroes with fame and approval, Julia struggles with isolation. She saves lives, yet feels invisible. The battlefield isn't just physical, it's emotional. Every victory leaves her questioning whether she truly belongs. Her darkest turning point arrives with the loss of her powers. Stripped of everything that defined her as Arachne, Julia must confront the woman beneath the mask. No strength, no wall crawling, no spider sense, just fear and choice, and she chooses to keep fighting anyway. Then comes her ascension. When Julia becomes Madame Web, the scale shifts completely. No longer reacting to danger, she sees all of it, futures collapsing, lives intersecting, spider heroes dying before they even rise. Bound to a cosmic web, often blind, physically fragile, and mentally overwhelmed, Julia sacrifices normal existence for something far greater. She guides others. She manipulates destiny. She watches heroes die so the universe survives. It is not glory. It is burden. And through it all, Julia never stops asking the hardest question. If you can see fate, do you have the right to change it? Julia Carpenter's strength was never just physical. Yes, she possesses enhanced strength, agility, wall-crawling, and venomous strikes. As Madame Web, her powers expand into precognition, psychic awareness, and cosmic perception. But her defining trait is resistance. She resists control. She resists destiny. She resists becoming numb to suffering. Julia is guarded, introspective, and emotionally restrained, not cold, but cautious. Trust doesn't come easily when your origin is betrayal. Her greatest weakness is isolation. Her greatest fear is losing herself to the role she's forced to play. Unlike other spider heroes, Julia doesn't joke to cope. She endures. And that endurance is what makes her dangerous and essential. Julia Carpenter represents a side of Marvel rarely celebrated, the hero who never wanted the spotlight. She expands the spider mythos beyond youthful optimism into adult consequence. As Arachne and Madame Web, she bridges street-level heroism with cosmic destiny. She influences Spider-Man, Spider-Woman, and the future of the Spider-Verse itself, often from the shadows. Her story challenges the idea that power is a gift. Sometimes it's a sentence. And sometimes, heroism isn't about saving the day. It's about bearing the weight of tomorrow so others don't have to. Julia Carpenter was never meant to be a hero. She was made into one. Broken by power, rebuilt by sacrifice, bound to destiny itself. And somewhere in the endless web of time, while others swing toward hope, Arachne watches and holds the universe together, one thread at a time.